Well, things just keep getting worse for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Montreal Alouettes, and the BC Lions. Things keep getting better for the Saskatchewan Roughriders and Hamilton Tiger Cats. And I'm not even sure we need to do a show, but we will on the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast coming up next. Like the caption says, welcome to the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast, Americans talking Canadian football. One of the Americans is me, Oz Davis. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Joe Pritchard. Joe, do we need to do a show this week? I feel like we don't.
It just feels like we're repeating ourselves at this point, aren't we?
No joke. No joke. How many nice things can we say about the Riders and Ticats? I ask you.
Too many.
Too many for my liking, for sure. Okay, Joe. Well, you spent not quite the ideal weekend in Winnipeg last weekend. So, how was your trip to the Banjo Bowl this time? Outcome notwithstanding.
I mean, besides the 3 hours that the game took, it was fantastic as usual.
Right. How is the weather up there?
It was just about the same as it would be at home for me. So it's just a matter of a couple degrees here and there. So for the most part, really the only big difference it usually will have is the winters get slightly colder up there, and we get a little bit of insulation from Lake Superior, I'm guessing, from the Arctic winds. So that's about it. It was just, it was a little bit cooler than it usually is when I'm up there. It was around 15 Celsius for the most part.
Oh wow!
So it was just a little bit chilly for the early part of September, but we were the same way where I'm from, so I can't blame it on being up in the Great White North at that point. It's just what it is.
Yeah, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the purpose of small talk, to not talk about heavier matters. I see that you're wearing the CFL Fans Fight Cancer shirt, or is it a hoodie?
That's a t-shirt. I also have the hoodie upstairs.
Oh, you got the hoodie. Okay.
I did my part. Anybody wanting to do their part and still hasn't put in an order, chop. September 15th is the last orders that will be taken. They will not be sold to Grey Cup unless there happens to be a couple extra, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. More likely there'll be raffle prizes. So if you really want one, make it happen.
So you got that at the stadium?
No. The nice thing about me traveling up to Winnipeg is I don't have to pay for a hotel. And I also happen to know the guy that is running the whole show this year for CFL Fans Fight Cancer. So when I showed up to the guest room, not only did I have my order sitting there for me and didn't have to pay shipping between Canada and the US, because why would I do that when I'm going to be there in a couple months, right? When I placed the order, I also had a season ticket holder Brady Oliveira bobblehead doll because.
Ooh.
Yes. And I added Willie Jefferson while I was at it, while I was doing my annual store raid. So
nice. Where are those? Next week? Let's bring them out.
They're over there. I mean, it's probably not good radio for me to go run and get them, but I could.
Well, we have to think about video these days, right? Even Spotify is accenting podcasts with video, which is kind of a contradiction, if you ask me. But nevertheless, perhaps next week we could just intro with the bobbleheads instead of yourself, Joe.
They would definitely be easier to look at than I would be.
They might have more positive things to say about the Bombers than you, as well. Um, let's talk about some football now. Okay, so you were at the game. You were obviously having a nice time this weekend. How much of the games did you get to see?
I saw a good chunk of BC Ottawa.
Mhm.
We happened to be at a small CFL Fans Fight Cancer event, but the game was on in a couple of spots where it was easy for me to see while I
Mhm.
wasn't enjoying the company of others. So I did get to see some of the high points on that.
Mhm.
Also, did get to see chunks of Hamilton, Montreal at the tailgate,
Sorry.
and then yeah, I didn't miss anything. Um, and then we did see the end of Edmonton, or we saw Edmonton Calgary as we had our post game dinner. So I did get to see live more than I usually do. Let's be fair.
So you basically got to see the second half of the Justin Rankin show.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Mhm. And of
Okay.
course, this week I put in Javon Leake as my cheap option at running back. Although I did forget to set a fantasy team until Friday night.
Oh,
Staring at the screen, it was like BC Ottawa was playing. Did I set a fantasy team? No. And usually when I do that, I do pretty well from the 3 games that are left, but, like, there was nobody scoring this week except for that game,
well,
so
yeah,
oh well.
yeah, and in that game, let's go right into that. Ottawa Redbacks 34, BC Lions 33. Wow, another dismal chapter in the 2025 BC Lions season. But the secret of this game was really obvious. All of a sudden, Dustin Crum became Michael Vick, and nobody on BC could tackle the man.
It's almost like
Um,
BC hasn't ever watched film of Dustin Crum playing. I
yeah, but I
I
mean,
I
this was,
wonder if BC even wants to win.
oh my God. Well, they
I mean, that's a rough thing to say, but it's a thought I had crossing my mind as I'm watching Ottawa creep back in and go ahead. It's like, does BC even want this? Like, where is this? Where
well,
why what are they doing?
well, I feel like that somebody told BC that fans love points, which is fine if you're scoring them. Now, here's BC. Actually, I looked up these stats. Pretty simple stat, points scored, points allowed. But here's BC in general giving up 28 points a game. A little bit more than that, actually, about 28 and a quarter points per game, right? They're scoring 28 points per game, but they're giving up 30.
Mhm.
They're giving up almost 30 points. Now, the Toronto Argonauts are the highest scoring team in the league. They've scored 364 points. Hamilton Tiger Cats, 359. BC has given up 358. So essentially, you become the highest scoring team in the CFL the week you're playing BC. Right? So, you know,
So what
what?
we're saying is don't take BC's defense.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And even Hamilton Tiger Cats defense, which has been, the secondary from hell this season, has really, cranked it up. They're looking playoff ready going into the final one quarter of the season. But BC is just the same. They're just as bad as Toronto out there. Do they even have a secondary? These
Oh,
guys.
they have a secondary. It's just sitting back 20 yards off the ball at the snap.
Yeah. Yeah. But then on the other hand, they played a couple of weeks ago. They're getting blown away by Toronto on every route. It's just, how can you be playing this far back? How can you be playing the Peyton Manning defense and still getting burned by the receiver? How? How? And I mean, here's Ottawa. Same old thing, right? Ottawa down 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, down 10-3 at the half. And yet they're just allowed to completely score at will. Dustin Crum looked like he was 21 years old again, just romping. Just absolutely. I mean, what can BC fans possibly be thinking at this point?
Do you even want to make the playoffs at this point if you're BC?
Now I was looking. Now, of course, thanks to the Edmonton win, these teams are in a statistical tie. Of course, BC got Edmonton in the first half of the season when they were hapless, as they like to say in the sports world. So they already swept. They've already won the series, no matter what happens in week. What is it? Week 19 that they play again for the third time. So BC's already won the series. So Edmonton has to do one win better. But right now, it looks like that might happen. Crazy to think that we're talking about Edmonton making the crossover in the East, but could happen. Could happen.
They could finish third.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the way that it's going for Winnipeg. So, do you want to go into that, Joe? I mean, you're in Winnipeg, and from the view of the TV screen or the streaming screen, let's say, wow, it was Zombieville in the second half.
Yep. Really, Saskatchewan played the game that Winnipeg's been playing for the past 3 or 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just play solid, let the other team make the critical mistakes, and then make them pay for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's been the mantra of this show of how Winnipeg has sustained dominance over the course of these past few years. Well, Winnipeg this year is not doing that. They are making the critical mistake instead of taking advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Zach Claris's health is obviously a lot more in danger this year than it has been in the past few years. And I mean, when Zach goes down, the offense goes with him. So you'll forgive me if I don't have a whole lot of hope for the rest of the season. And I just hope. There's been some talk back and forth between the panel and Milt Stiegel and Mike O'Shea as far as what to think about Zach and his health and whether he should play again. But
play again,
I can't expect it anymore. I'm hoping he'll have his health going forward, and that's about all I can hope for at this point. I mean, he has only given us so much in the past 5 years. I wouldn't be terribly upset if this was the end of it. And when I saw that he was sitting up after the hit and just sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I think this is over. I think we're on to the next thing. And this year's just going to be playing out the string at this point.
Yeah.
Even if he gets back in there, like even if he tries to rally again, which he's a competitor, I could see him doing that. What was there in Winnipeg is now not. So that's just what it is.
One of the great things about, I was thinking about this recently, one of the great things about American football is that, like baseball, it is a sport of discrete plays. In other words, and football has the added drama of only having games once per week. And so every game, every play takes on certain significance. And you're looking at plays in this game and just, I mean, this thing is like an ellipse for this season for Winnipeg. By the end of this game, I mean, that was it. Even the diehards had to admit that this ain't the year officially. For me, the play of the game came when Mario Alford had, it's got to be the worst play I've ever seen the man make. And he used to play in Montreal, so I've seen just about every play of his career on special teams, where missed the field goal. Sergio Castillo, too, missing field goals. Misses the field goal. Mario takes it out, backs up, and almost gets taken out for the safety. And as soon as Winnipeg turned that into 0 points, they couldn't even at least get the Rouge on that, down by 2. That's it. That's it. I knew it was done. I knew my bet was lost. I knew this game was done.
And then the next play, they tip their hand and show Trevor Harris they're going to blitz.
Right.
Which is a dumb idea because Trevor Harris is a good quarterback and knows what to do.
Yeah. This year, yeah. This year, you didn't even if you can blitz Harris, you don't this season.
And the Bombers need to blitz to have any chance of a pass rush. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the things that was pointed out was during this game was that the Bombers, shockingly, are second worst in turnover differential to inevitably BC Lions.
That doesn't shock
Um,
me at all. I've been watching them all
yeah.
year.
Yeah. 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 And the funny thing is that, okay, so Caleros had registered 13 interceptions, which is a tad high. But that means that, Winnipeg is just not getting the turnovers. They're not generating the takeaways.
They're not generating any pass rush, so why would anybody throw
Right.
a ball throw a contested ball out there, right?
Right. Exactly. All right. Well,
and they're making mistakes on special teams, and they're making mistakes. They've had a couple of run fumbles too this year too, where the timing could have been slightly better on those, and it's almost like winning the turnover battles and winning the close games for 5 straight years isn't something that's sustainable.
It's almost like that. Well, Joe, I know it's not much consolation to most other Winnipeg fans, but on your part, at least we can say, well, the Green Bay Packers look pretty good.
And I got to sit there and enjoy that on Sunday. That was great. And then we sat there and watched my buddies Ravens decide to play 3 quarters of football. 3 quarters of great football.
Yeah.
I think we went to bed. I don't remember what the fourth quarter was like.
Well, same goes for me. I mean, my Rams looked pretty decent over the weekend. My Alouettes looked absolutely brutal. Here's another one. I'm not quite ready to say that our season is done because I think that the Alouettes could still make the playoffs. I can't believe I'm having to talk like this. They could still make the playoffs, but wow. Hamilton Tiger Cats 26, Montreal Alouettes 9.
I mean, my preseason prediction of them finishing last was because I didn't think they had a quarterback.
Well, now they don't. I mean, on quarterbacks, in the last 3 games, we've had 2 touchdowns and we've had 4 guys throw a pass. So, we really don't. I mean, it's the expression around the NFL is if you have 2 quarterbacks, you've got no quarterbacks. Well, we've got 4 so far. So I don't know if that means that we have -1, but in this game it might as well have been. The Ticats didn't even really need Bo Levi-Mitchell at this point. Greg Bell was just running us over. There was some wild running performances this week. For some reason, the game was dominated by running after that BC Ottawa game. There's good runners in all these games. Greg Bell, 20 carries, 156 yards, rushing, threw in 34 yards, catching as well, 1 touchdown. Wow. And again, Bo Levi didn't even need to throw for 200. He didn't even need to throw for a touchdown. And the Tiger Cats were never in doubt in this game. Just, awful. What can I say about this game, Joe, without criticizing the Alouettes or praising the Ticats? Anything?
The game occurred on Saturday. It was the first game of the week, or first game of the day. It was followed by 2 others.
Okay. All right. Just the facts.
I think I'm done. I think that's all I got.
Okay. And as we stand right now, again, with 3/4 of the season gone, almost 70% of the season is gone. Hamilton is now full 2 games up on Montreal. Look to have that Eastern number 1 all set for the playoffs. About the only thing I feel like that's going to stop Saskatchewan and Hamilton right now is complacency.
Well, or Calgary.
Well, all right. Let's talk about Calgary. What a disappointment. Calgary, after the Saskatchewan win, which I did not forecast, Calgary just had to win to keep pace with the Riders, who they've already beaten twice this year, by the way. Instead, really, really, really laid an egg against Edmonton Elks. Elks. Edmonton Elks 31, Stamps 19. As we alluded to before, the Justin Rankin show. Wow. Now, okay, Joe, I don't remember the last time I saw a single game performance by a running back this dominant, this just running at will. Running at will. I mean, have you seen a better single game by
Not
halfback?
in a while. Not in a while.
No. Like not since the 90s. Not since Mike Pringle. I mean, wow. 204 yards on just 16 carries. 2 touchdowns, and like I say, I don't remember a better performance there. As we've been talking about lately, the quarterback, Cody Fajardo, may be the key to the Elks' success this season, but wow. These games when Justin Rankin is able to go off is just, these are the Edmonton wins. And you've got to be asking, I think this is the third time in 3 seasons, where was this in the first half of the year? Where was this game?
Well, at least they only took a month to get going this time instead of 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, but like we said, as bad as BC is playing, they still have the advantage on the Elks.
They do, but Edmonton's also, they started at 1-3, 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
They've been above 500 since they got their stuff together. And BC has just been there, really.
Since Cody took over.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah. Who would have thought that Cody Fajardo would be outplaying Nathan Rourke at this point in the season?
It's still an uphill climb. I think we went over Edmonton plays BC twice more. So
do they?
No, once more.
No, just once more.
Just the once more.
19, right? Week 19.
Yeah, 20.
20. Oh, yeah. Week 20.
Edmonton does have quite the schedule coming up here. Lots of road games against teams that are about their level, and their home games are against teams that are up higher on the standings than they are. So it's not a gimme that they're gonna get in, but it's there for them. Mm-hmm. They can, if they can keep playing the way they've been playing, they can get there.
Mm-hmm. 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 Cody would be back in the playoffs again this season. Just really disappointing for the Stamps in this game. Just completely fell asleep at second half. I mean, has anyone told them that the second half has started yet? Really disappointing. I mean, 53 yards in the third quarter, 7 points in the entire second half, 2 and outs all over the place. The final 2 drives went back-to-back sacks and then interception. It's just completely fell apart. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they did at half, but this was Calgary's chance to stay in this thing. I don't know. At this point, I'm not liking their chances of winning the West at all. At least, in terms of the standing board.
No, but you get to the West Final and anything can happen, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, except that beating a CFL team 3 times in a single season isn't easy, and that's what they would be asked to do, which would be pretty wild because you can imagine a scenario where the Riders have 4 or 5 losses all season, and 3 of them are to the Stamps. It would be a pretty wild scenario. Let's see. I've got odds for next week here. Let me call this up on my screen. I got a new machine this weekend, and I'm still not used to the controls here. All right, so let's talk about next week's games. All right, we start off the season assuming Chris Streveler is starting for the Bombers.
Absolutely. Zach didn't practice today. I don't see him back at least this week, at the very, very least. But I don't see him back. I just don't.
Okay. For the record, today meaning the 8th of September?
9th of September. Yep.
9th of September, sorry.
Yep.
Tuesday.
He's listed as DNP. He was in street clothes at practice.
Uh-huh.
I know he's going to want to get back in there. I don't know if it happens. So
Winnipeg.
that's about as far as I can go with that.
Winnipeg at Hamilton, who, as I said, their defense has been playing excellently at late. What do you suppose? Line? Would you like to guess?
Hamilton by 7.5.
Wow. Wow. I know what you're betting in this game. Oh, that's right. You don't bet. Hamilton minus 4.5 only.
They're not. They're not.
Oh, okay.
They're just not paying attention to the quarterback change.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
To be fair, I'm taking a second look at this. The aggregate is 4.5. The most common line is 4.5, or maybe it opened at 4.5. But now this is 6.5, 7 at different books. So yeah, but you may be right. By kickoff, this might be 7.5, especially at some places. So yeah, okay.
I
The
don't
news
doubt
has
it. And with the Winnipeg pass rush having taken a year-long vacation, Bo's going to have all day. So put lots of Hamilton players in your starting lineup.
Wow.
Because Hamilton's going to have the ball a lot too, because Winnipeg won't.
Okay. Now, here we've got the back-to-back. Ottawa at BC. Okay. All right. Somebody here has a lot of faith in BC. You ready for this line? Would you like to guess this line?
If you're saying that they're nuts about BC, I'm going to say like BC 5.5.
How about 9.5?
Have they lost their minds?
Well, I mean, there's a nice pick here. The nice pick here is Ottawa plus the points. I mean, because I can imagine BC might squeak this one out by the numbers only. You know, I can imagine this is a BC win. This is an Ottawa loss, but 9.5, that's nuts. BC gives up way too many points, and Ottawa has way too many talented guys on offense. Sure, Justin Crum scoring 2 touchdowns of 10 yards or more is not going to happen in this game. But I don't know. Ottawa's got lots of other places to score points, you know, even with Crum at quarterback. You know, not exactly a gunslinger, but, you know, this is, yeah. Yeah, I don't believe this line. I would probably maybe take BC and pick them. Just because of back-to-back sweep is
I could see them winning because winning back-to-back is hard. BC will be at home. Yeah. It'll be a late night for Ottawa, long travel, what have you. I could see them winning, especially since Nathan Rourke is going to is capable of putting up a lot of points. The problem is he's facing his own defense and trying to outpace them.
Yeah.
That's the problem he's had this year. Right. So, I mean, he's had a good year. There's just like you're asking him to score 35 every week, right?
Yeah, he's +2. He's +2. BC offense is a 2-point underdog against BC defense. You know, it's like if they were playing themselves, they get and that's the thing, Joe. You're saying they have to score points. All they needed to do is score more than 10 in the first half, and they might have won. They might have won the game. It's just like, God. I mean, wow. And so I wish Montreal were playing BC right about now. I mean, we could afford to score some points here. You know, it'd be nice to have somebody else besides the kicker scoring points for us. All right, game 3 is Edmonton at Toronto. What would you guess on this one? Toronto's favored.
I'm going to say Toronto 2.5.
Oh, okay. All right. Good guess. 3.5. Some books have it at 4. Wow. It's tempting. It's tempting to go with Edmonton here on the pick.
Nick Arbuckle is getting the start, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That was announced today.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Chad Kelly is close to a comeback.
Yep.
Apparently.
Yep. Well, I mean, Arbuckle is playing a peak right now.
Well, exactly. Like you can take another week or two, right?
Sure.
Or maybe the rest of the season if you have any sense at all. But
hosting Edmonton, here's Toronto. It seems like every week they're playing a crossover team, a potential crossover team from the West. Wow. Okay, I'm going to go contrarian. I'll take Edmonton. I'll take Edmonton and pick them. Sure, why
I
not?
thought you said you were going
They're hot.
contrarian. That's what I'm taking too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay, I think we're both going against the grain a little bit here. Kind of like.
Maybe, but Edmonton did have a good run against Eastern teams in August, so maybe that continues in September.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, again, Fajardo is hot. Edmonton is hot. I mean, they're arguably the hottest team in the league.
And I
Besides
mean,
the
really,
Jets.
if Rankin gets going again, who on Toronto is going
Oh
to
my
stop
God.
him?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, Toronto is well capable of giving up lots of points, and Edmonton has proven themselves capable of putting up a lot of points, at least a lot of yards. I mean, wow. Jesus, if Rankin takes off again tonight, this week, I mean, wow. Edmonton's going to have a real hard time choosing their own MOP nominee this season. Because no doubt Cody has brought them out of the cellar, but Rankin is just a beast this season. He's had an amazing year. Amazing year. Okay, finally. Oh my God. Okay. Montreal Alouettes against your eventual 2025 CFL champion, Saskatchewan Roughriders in Regina. All right. How about the line on this one, Joe? We've seen some big lines already.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Sorry.
11 and a half.
It's not that much. 8.5. 8.5 is the
Well, why
max at
not?
sports books. This opened at 7.5. Well, just the numbers. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Alexander's coming back this week for Montreal Alouettes. The official site says nothing. Do you maybe you have the injury reports?
I am pulling that up right now.
Okay, good.
Montreal
Yeah, I thought I
Alouettes.
heard some scrolling.
Well, McCullough Bethel Thompson's off the 6th game. Davis Alexander is limited.
Okay. He was limited last week too, so probably indicates he's not going to be playing. They'll bring him back for Toronto in a couple of weeks. Okay. All right. So yeah. Okay. So I guess the question is here: do you want to lay the 8.5 points? Sure. What the hell? We can't beat an egg right now, so I'll go with the Riders to win. They'll probably cover this too. Oh my God, so depressing.
You're telling me. I'm just checking to see when the Brewers play on Saturday because I'm probably watching the game instead. That's the text I got from my wife after the game was, well, that's too bad about your football team, but just remember you're rooting for the best team in baseball. So
Yeah, you might be rooting for the best team in NFL football too.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, really,
Yeah.
of all my, there's 4 teams I follow pretty closely:
Okay.
the Brewers and the Packers.
Right.
Because Wisconsin, right?
Right. The
Never
Bombers.
really did get into the NBA, so pass on that. But also
Bombers.
the Winnipeg Jets and the Bombers. So
Oh, the Jets. Yeah.
yeah, I'd say I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Like even if this season like flames out for the Bombers, like what can I complain about really?
That's the dynastic team amongst your favorites. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. This might not be the best season for the Rouge, White, and Blue podcast, personally, but 2 years ago we were both in the Grey Cup. So again, can't complain too much
Too
for the
bad they
show.
canceled that game and didn't play it. That would have been a fun one.
And the upside, if you'd like to put a positive spin on this, the upside for the eventual Saskatchewan Hamilton Grey Cup is that at least here on the Rouge, White, and Blue, we will crown a different champion. One more. We've almost got the whole league now.
Not Chad Kelly versus the Riders, I'll have somebody to root for, right?
Oh, God. Yeah, well, you're alone on this podcast cheering for Hamilton. That's a game where I'm going to be cheering for who I'm betting on. For sure.
Fair, but also like that's like the one situation where I'd be just like, I don't even know who I want to lose more.
Right.
Like one is rivalry, but like the other, well, we've covered that. So
It's like one of my all-time favorite memes, the Grumpy Cat meme. Just shot a Grumpy Cat. Caption is, "I hope both teams lose." That's going to be my attitude, I think, if that's the eventual thing. So, hey, let's wrap it as we head on to the inevitable Hamilton Saskatchewan Grey Cup. This has been another episode of the Rouge, White, and Blue. I think our next one is number 300. 300 is our next episode.
Yeah, it feels about right. Show. I mean,
yeah.
Gosh, actually, I was looking at my Memento app earlier after I put in the Banjo Bowl, and I realized I've watched a full season of Winnipeg Blue Bombers football. They're 8-10 when I'm in attendance, so maybe I'm the problem.
8-10. Okay.
Although to be fair, the first 3 I went to go see were in Regina for Labor Days, so that's probably part of the problem, right?
Okay, all right. Besides that, you're 8-7.
Yep.
There you go. But hey, Winnipeg played in the East that one season, so 8-10 might be enough to get you in the home game in the playoffs, right?
I mean, if you look at the standings this year, 8-10 might win the East.
Oh God! Stop it! I can't decide what's worse: Hamilton winning the East or an 8-10 team winning the East.
Oh, you take 8-10 all day long if it was your team.
Oh, if it was my team, yeah, sure, but it's not. It's not gonna be.
And we're gonna have a car wreck between like 9-9 and 7-11 for everybody besides like 2 teams. So
yeah. See, that's wild though, because that's what you pick every year. every year you're picking most of the league to finish, 10-8, 7-11. They're all coalescing in the middle there. Okay, so where Joe and I are just being pessimists. We still have 30% of this season left, plus playoffs. As the NFL just gets started, the CFL is coming down the home stretch. We will talk to you next week. For my co-host Joe Pritchard, I'm Oz Davis. Enjoy the games.